Aviation enthusiasts, welcome to yet again another episode of the Aviation Blueprint. That's proudly powered by Wamara Aviation Media Foundation. With me, your host, Olivia Nakalembe. For an airline business to stand the test of time and leave a lasting legacy, there have to be brains that are cracking strategy, operations, and most importantly, sales, to make sure that it stands on its 2 feet. Now, there's not so many brains like that in this particular country that can speak to even the history of these 3 elements. Mr. Wamara, thank you so much for sparing time amidst your busy schedule to talk to us today.
The pleasure is mine. The schedule is less busy these days.
The schedule is less busy.
But the pleasure is mine.
Okay, stand corrected. Please introduce yourself to everyone watching
Thank you very much, Olivia. Very glad to be on the Aviation Blueprint. My name is Roger Wamara, Impako Yanga Moti. I have worked in the aviation industry for over 30 years. I joined as a very young man in the airports, with the civil aviation in the airport management. Came to the airlines, did my part in the airline with the European airline in Uganda, then later with Qatar Airways in Uganda. Later I was posted abroad to work for Qatar Airways in Eritrea, Asmara. Eritrea is a challenging country. After that, I came back home to Uganda, and then I also worked for Uganda Airlines, which I also left after some time. I'm now doing my own business at RAS, working for myself and my family.
Okay.
That has grown over the years, yes.
Mr. Wamara, maybe if we could go back to your history.
Yes.
Take us through your school days.
I was blessed as a child, I guess, born into a family of civil servants. In those days, civil servants were earning decent pay and went to nice schools. Started my primary school, nursery and primary school in Kitante Primary School. That was for the elite, if I can call it, in Kampala. After that, I did well. I think I was also blessed in academics. I went to St. Mary's College, which is now called SMAC.
Okay. I
did my O-levels there, my A-levels. I stumbled a bit at my A-levels, and I had to go back to do some repeat work in Kavalega near my home for 1 year. After stumbling, I guess I had too much fun in SMAC. So 1 year, did my college in SMAC. Kavalega Secondary School, my S6. Went to university. I was admitted for education, French and economics that I studied. We were young, enjoyed ourselves very much. School was fun, uni was okay, was nice. No school fees, partying a lot, no tuition. It was a good time to grow up. And then, of course, I'd done education. I did my teaching part. I did teaching. Teaching is a very, very rewarding experience. I taught for almost 4 years at Kololo Secondary School and at the Alliance Française de Kampala. I got an opportunity. The Civil Aviation Authority was looking for people. There were some problems in the VIP lounge at the airport, the lounge that receives the top dignitaries.
What year is this that we're talking about?
Now we are talking 1993.
Okay.
So 93, the government, Civil Aviation Authority has taken over the airport in 1991. It's just being set up, so they are growing, and they find the way the airport was being run was not very good. So they said, no, we need to tweak some parts. They started with the management, revenue collection, and then they said, now there were a few incidents. Then they thought maybe the caliber of the people in that lounge receiving foreign dignitaries require some form of upgrade. So they said, let's look around with people with skills who can be taught in a bit of diplomacy, protocol, who have language skills, who may have any other skills in dealing with dignitaries that can receive them appropriately. So they looked around and advertised, and we applied for the post. I was appointed as an assistant supervisor of the VIP lounge. I had the pleasure of meeting presidents, and it's a nice experience.
Please let us in on some of the dignitaries, that you met, and one that cut it for you.
Who can I mention? I saw so many. Almost every. At that time, Uganda was just coming out of the wars and all, and so the president of Uganda is traveling a lot. That one you're going to see him almost every now and then because he's passing through your lounge. The foreign dignitaries coming in for the different conferences. The presidents are all coming through your, can call it your office almost every day. You have the pleasure of seeing, I don't know whose passport, and I can't mention names, but you feel good. It's exciting at that age to be able to touch the president's passport. But there you are, it's a job, and you do your job, and you're learning a lot. Every day you're learning a lot. And because the airport, the VIP lounge was running 24 hours, because planes can arrive every time, even if the airport was a bit slow at that time, part of the management of the airport was left to the person on duty at the lounge. Yes, if, like night time, there's no manager, all the people have gone home. So they said, so the supervisor who is on duty at night, and at that young age, it was very nice to know that you're in charge of the whole airport. Assistant supervisor. It's very good. But if anyone called, the head of state called and wanted to talk to the manager of the airport, you were the one. So that was very uplifting. Wow. Did my 3 years there. In the second year there, again, the airport, the management realized they needed to again upgrade the quality of the staff who are doing airport operations. Airport operations is really basic airport management. You are learning how to run an airport, which has different components. So now you're coming out of the VIP lounge, you're coming to the entire airport. Things as basic as cleaning, supervising the cleaning, the toilets, to the lighting, to the generators, to the engineers, all this to make sure the airport is running smoothly. Now that fell in charge of airport operation. There's what we call the air side at the airport and the land side. So you're working, there is the land side, this side that you come into when you're riding and you're going, and then there's an imaginary line in between the airport. There's an air side, which is technically not part of Uganda. Can we call it no man's land?
No man's land.
Yes, technically. So there's the air side where the aircrafts land, and then the people who wave, it's called marshalling the aircraft. Again, those were also under us in airport operations. Then you had to design and programs for the vehicles running on we're trying to revamp the airport. So things like driving permits for people to drive on the air side. Not anybody can drive those trucks and those, you see those cars with the sign. There's a car they call Follow Me. In case an airport is stuck, it's got red and black. So that one is called Follow Me, something like that. Who drives it? What skills do they need? Who briefs them on safety and security? Some of these things fell under airport operations. It was a very enriching experience.
So it was Mr. Wamara at that time?
At that time, I was one of the airport operations officers with the superior who had been at the airport much longer from the Ministry of Works time. So we're learning from them. But of course, they had their own way of working, and there were new methods coming in, new skills that as young people were grabbing and learning. It was a very interesting experience. Okay. For training, we got UNDP experts to come and teach us very interesting things. Who knew that buildings around an airport can only go above a certain height? Yes, because as the aircrafts come in, there's a degree, I think it is 3 degrees, which beyond which a building cannot be in case it crashes into the building. So buildings outside the airport are affected by an airport. Yes. There are buildings in Entebbe that cannot go above a certain height to avoid going into the path of the aircraft. Very interesting airport operation.
So then, Mr. Wamara, when you moved away from the airport, where did you go? I know you walked us through your career briefly, but now we're getting all of the juice.
Okay.
Where did you go next?
Okay, an airline, a big Belgian airline that closed later, was looking for a sales manager for Uganda, who was covering sales and marketing and communications.
What was its name at the time?
It was called Sabena.
Okay.
Sabena was an abbreviation of a long French name, Société Aérienne Belge Nationale Aviation, something like that, anonyme, which was abbreviated to Sabena. Okay. So Sabena was big in Africa, a bit big in Europe and America. Being a Belgian, Congo and West Africa, French-speaking countries, it was flying a lot there. And their sales manager who they had was leaving. So they were looking for somebody to do the job, and I applied. We did interviews in Kampala. It got interesting. They got stuck with 2 candidates. They didn't know what to do, so they sent us over to Belgium to see who would be better. It was exciting.
Was it your first time to fly out of the country at the time?
No, I was lucky. I had flown out just after university. I went for, because I was a French teacher, they give you an extra course in France to do abroad. And after that one, again, I did another course in educational television, actually production, editing in France. So I had been twice to France, 89 and 91. And I was selected 1996. I joined Sabena as the sales manager. Did that work diligently. It was interesting. Again, now I'd come from a different part of aviation, airport, operations. Now I was coming to this part of aviation, which is now the airline part, the sales, the revenue. Now this was very interesting. This was a very, very interesting time in my life.
Is that one of the elements? I mean, having been an economics student, is that one of the elements that enabled you get a grip of that particular position?
Oh, yes. Okay. One, you're talking about performance. You're reporting performance to your seniors. You are designing and proposing how to attack the market, how to bring in more numbers. And in our airline business, as you learn, it's not only about the numbers on the seats. There's a popular saying that the easiest way to become a millionaire is to start an airline. The easiest way to become a millionaire is to start an airline. But first you have to be a billionaire. It means...
That's the catch point.
Yes. It means airlines lose money. A lot. Many rich billionaires in the Western world feel pompous, I start an airline. They end up losing money. It's a high capital industry. You put in a lot of money with very narrow margins, profit margins. Like I said, the numbers, the investment is high. A $5, $10 difference can make or break a flight. And you're selling a perishable good. The moment that flight goes, it's gone. You'll never sell it again. It's like the tomatoes in the market.
Yes.
So you have to make sure that we make money on every single flight, which is not easy at all. We have the low seasons where, like now, in the aviation business, April, May, it's slow. Then in June, July, summer, high season. Planes are full.
Just like Uganda's tourism.
Yes, like tourism. Then it drops. But you're flying every single day. You're flying that plane, that 100-seater, 200-seater plane with 30 passengers, with 40 passengers. And you can't stop. You can't say, oh, we'll wait till they come. No, because again, it's also about reliability.
So, Mr. Ma, what are some of the things you employ to make sure that you succeed at this new job?
That job I was doing was, like I said, sales manager for Uganda. So you first need to know Uganda, your country. Know your market, what kind of people are traveling, where are they going, why are they going. You have tools. At that time we had a few tools. Now you have many more tools to analyze where you have IT tools to tell you how many people went to London from Uganda last year. Just click and you find it. But the information is enough. What do you do with the information? Now you have to look for the people. Where are they coming from? What are they going to do? When do they travel? Why are they traveling? So that you can go and capture them. What media do they use now? Nowadays we look at TV, radio. It's different now. Who are the people traveling? The young people are going for destination weddings. How much information do you have about the destination weddings? The young people now just travel, staycation, vacation. We didn't have that at our time. We didn't have that. Now the market is evolving. So the people in growing, they have to have that touch, a finger on that pulse to know where are the people going, what are they going for, and how do we get them onto our plane.
Okay.
I was talking about numbers. It's not enough to fill the plane. You have to fill the plane at the right price. At the right price. This is what is called revenue management. Just selling a ticket at $900 to London, hypothetically, if you sold 200 tickets at $900, you probably would not make money on a 300-person plane. You probably will not. So you need to sell some at 900, stop, close that bracket, open for 1,200, close that bracket, open 1,300, close that bracket. Okay. So you make the 900 a bit uncomfortable. Penalty for change, blah, blah, blah. Put in all, tweak these things.
To entice
them to go up. So your job is to increase the yield of the airline. Now things are changing. They say, oh, pay for extra baggage. If you want a seat, pay for it. Those days would give seats free. You want to choose. Now some airlines say, oh, you want to select a seat, you have to pay $15.
True.
Yes. You want an extra piece of baggage, you pay. Why? Because the $900 that to Ugandans and everybody else looks like a lot may not make that flight profitable.
True.
Because the costs are so high. The fuel costs, the staff costs, the operation, the equipment, huge costs. So the margin is this small.
Okay.
So your job is to make sure you can raise that margin, on small things, raise that margin, added value, provide the client with extra services at an extra cost. Okay. You can even say legroom. You want seats with a... Yes, pay more.
You want us to double the legroom?
Yes, pay more. No, you can say the front row seats have a bit of more room.
Yes.
For those, you pay more. So you have to find this way. Otherwise, you could just say, you'll fill that plane at $800 and still make losses.
Wow. Yep. So we move on from Sabena. Where then does Mr. Wamara's career journey take him?
September 11th, 2001. Was it 2001? There's the New York, two planes that flew into the Twin Towers. That incident had huge repercussions on the aviation airline industry. Everything changed. Security element had to be increased. The profitability had to be looked at closer. Countries started saying, but why are we running these airlines? Why do we need to run them? Let businessmen run them. Because many of the European airlines were owned by governments. As with Sabena, owned by Belgian government. British Airways was owned by British government. Air France was owned by French government. Italia, all these airlines were owned by governments. It was America that had broken away from the airlines earlier. With the American airlines, all of them had gone private. But in Europe, it was still very much a government business. Then the EU comes up also with these competition laws and says, no, you can't fund these businesses and compete fairly with Branson, who has started an airline. How do you compete with him? You're using his tax money to fight him. So they started pulling out.
Slowly by slowly.
And Sabena went bankrupt.
Okay.
And closed in November 2001. So Sabena closed, Alitalia closed, I think, and a few other European airlines, big airlines, they went bust. And we went home. But fortunately, of all the operations in Africa, I guess me and my team were doing a great job.
Okay.
So as other non-profitable destinations were looked at, they said, okay, private businesses can run this. The private banks came in, said, no, which are the profitable destinations? Entebbe was one of them. So we'll make a new airline and we'll start with certain destinations. We can't fly everywhere, prestige, because it was prestige. As a country, you fly everywhere, you just fly and make losses. It was okay. So they called us back, said, no, a new airline is coming up in 2002, mid-2002, and called us and gave me back the same job. Okay. And a new airline now called Brussels Airlines. It started as SN Brussels Airlines. They dropped the SN later. It was a mouthful. Okay. So they said we get rid of the SN.
Wow.
So then I came back to join Brussels Airlines as sales and marketing manager. Wow. So we are given targets end of the year. Have you reached them? Not. And I'm happy to say we hit all our targets while I was at Brussels Airlines.
Well served.
Yes, I did my best. Because of my language skills, I had managed to work with a Belgian company whose official language was English, but communication with colleagues and different markets was in French. So the French markets, you had to speak French with them. So it was very good that I had the language, and it helped me a lot in my career. So after a few years of serving them loyally, a new airline came to town from the Gulf called Qatar Airways, and they were looking for resourceful, experienced, skilled people. And
what year is this that we're speaking about?
2011.
Okay.
2011, yeah. I joined Qatar Airways.
Was it a good deal for you to leave the other side and get to Qatar?
Well, after 11 years, plus how many earlier with Sabina, you want a change. Sure. So even if the terms were not so great, with a few things here and tweaks here and there to entice me, I thought I could change and see another angle.
So you were just exploring,
a bit. Of course, there was a bit of an advantage,
yes,
but also exploring is not a bad thing. Number two, the airline business was changing
rapidly.
What we called the legacy carriers, like I told you earlier as we were chatting, British Airways, Brussels Airlines, Air France, were losing prominence as the big Gulf carriers were coming into the market. Emirates, the Etihad, Qatar Airways. We used to look at them as small boys in the industry. They turned out to be the big boys.
They did their maths.
Turkish Airlines. These guys came and rocked the market as we were looking. What they call disruption? They came and disrupted. I told you earlier, when we were starting the interview, recommend how we can enter the market. And I said, well, you can start with 4 or 5 flights a week, then you go to 6, 7. They said, no, Roger, Mr. Wamara, we want to start with daily. I said, you can't do daily. They said, that's how we operate.
Meaning 1 flight a day, but we anticipate in the near future
even more, which they went up
4 times a day.
Yeah, now they are doing 10 a week. So in some days they do 2. But coming from an airline that was doing 3 flights a week or 4, it was a shock. And I'm saying the numbers in the market, I was not even sure. So again, back to the number. What is your role? Your role is to know the market and communicate to your company and your principals about how the market is evolving. And also to report how you have done. So you're reporting what you did last year, but at the same time, they're asking you what is happening in Uganda. And you have to tell them, is oil coming? Yes. What can happen? What was 5 years ago? Political situation, economic situation. Can we invest more? Do you think so? And they're taking your word. So you better know your facts. You better know your figures. You better know what you're talking about. You better know your economy very well in your market. So I think I had those skills and I could come and talk to them. So I said, okay, let's start. You've decided 7. Let's see how it works. Well, a daily flight. And indeed it was. Of course, they had the advantage. The legacy carriers are coming from Europe with bigger aircraft. At that time, 200-seater, 250-seater. Doing that every day is hard in a market at that time, daily. But now these guys had the 100-seaters, small 120, that could do day, and Doha is near. It's 5 hours. You're not necessarily looking for passengers from Uganda, but you're looking at passengers to China. So if I bring 50 years all over, bring them to my hub and send them on. That's network. Wow. So we have 2 types of sales in the market. There's point-to-point. For example, Entebbe to Addis. How many people are going between Entebbe and Addis? How many of them are going further? How many of them are staying there? You need to know all that. So when you know that and you look at the numbers, you say, okay, maybe there are many people may not be coming to Addis or to Entebbe, like for Uganda Airlines, from Lagos, not many, but they want to go to China. They want to go beyond South Africa. So you have to include those numbers. Speculation, market research, so many things. And now we have a lot of tools and we say, okay, we can take them there. We can open that destination. So if you're going in the business, it helps to have very deep pockets. Or you're expecting to get very deep pockets. Uganda is expecting money from oil, so maybe it will make sense. So that again. So new destination. So I was posted to be the manager for Eritrea, for Uganda in Eritrea. Very interesting time. Oh, Eritrea. That one is a whole new story. It's a challenging country. One of the reasons you can imagine it's challenging, there are many Eritreans here. They have left their country for a number of reasons. So the economy has many rules, restrictions, and it's not easy. But we managed. And again, I topped my targets. I did very well. Yeah. But after a while, had to come back.
You had to come back home.
Yeah. So I got here, started growing my small, my startup had started, Raz Travel. As I was here, the idea of Uganda Airlines came up. I said, okay, I had wanted to stay home, but this is my country. Yes.
And we have to serve.
And we have to serve.
Having grown up in a home of, civil servants.
Yes, yes. And it's exciting, and it's challenging. But if the government has decided to do it, yes, there are naysayers, there are all sorts of, it won't work. You say no. If it is decided, it has been decided.
Yes.
You only have to push it forward. You can't fold your hands and say, no, it won't work. No. And if you have the skills to help support, why not?
Okay.
So I went there to do the job of a director, commercial. Now the role is now changing now. From managing an operation in a country's sales, then you're managing a country. Now you're managing an airline which is over many countries. So now it's a whole new ball game. In commercial, you are dealing with now 4 elements, some of which I was not managing before. There is the sales and marketing, which I was doing.
True.
Now you have the pricing and yield management. Because as a marketer, as we sell, and you're always complaining, hello, give us, this is a good client, give him $900. But the guys in revenue management who are lead are saying, no, if we get 900, that plane will go red. That flight will be red. So it's interesting to come from this side of push. Then you sit, now you're overheading these other people.
Who are cracking the numbers.
Who are looking at numbers differently. We're also cracking. Me, I'm cracking. I had a target of 100,000 or 1 million. I've made it, $1 million. Give me my bonus if it's there or what. That's different. This guy is saying, you made your million, okay, but how did you make it? Over how many flights?
And did it make sense?
Did it make sense? So these guys are looking at it in a totally different way. So you have the revenue pricing, the first one, sales and marketing. Then you have the yield pricing and revenue management. Then you also have now the network management. You're dealing with the network. Because all of a sudden now you need to know, where do we fly? Do we go to DRC? Okay, by the time I joined, there was a plan. The airline was formed earlier, 2019, I joined 2020. And plans were set. We shall go to these destinations, we shall go to this destination. It was very well laid out plan, and they're still following it, I think, up to now. But by the time I joined, COVID, boom. Wow. Yeah. So it was a tough time. You are growing, you're trying to start, and then COVID comes and locks everybody down. So all the challenges that they are facing, they may be facing, we must appreciate that there was a time where they were seated and they were stuck, and then had to start all over again. And that's what happened. So I joined and said, okay, let's do it. Now you're dealing with all these other aspects. There's also government relations. In this new network management, you're talking to government people, because when an airline decides to fly, say, to Egypt, Uganda Airlines is, say, going to Egypt. There's first level is what they call the BASA, the bilateral states agreement between Uganda and Egypt. The two countries agree, we shall have aviation agreements between us two. Fine. After the two countries agree, then it comes now to who is going to fly there. The airlines. Now the airlines start talking also. We are going to come there. We are now talking with the government. We want to go to this place, we want to go to Egypt, fine, we want to go to Egypt. You are talking, and there are a number of factors involved. Then after that, now you are the airline, now you're dealing with the airports. And the cities. I'll give an example. If a country wants to fly to Uganda, I'm proud to say we have now got in my home, Hoima International Airport.
Yes.
So you say you're allowed to come to Uganda, fine. So Swaziland Airline can come to Uganda. You can fly to Uganda. So where do you want to fly? They say, well, I want Entebbe. But later, they may realize, which they should have realized first, that they have Hoima International. And this is something they should put in the contract from day one. That want to fly to Entebbe, we also want to Hoima, and maybe Gulu. If you don't put it there at the outset, you'll struggle to put it in later. Because the thing is said.
True.
Yes. Then further complication. In some countries can be federal. You find the regional government of Entebbe is different from the regional government of Hoima.
Oh, yes.
And each is operating. So you get authorization from central government, then you have to deal with regional government of Entebbe, then you have to deal with the regional government of Hoima. You better get everything right.
Wow.
from the outset. But
Wow.
there are people who are trained to do this, and they help you as an airline talk to these people.
Wow. Yes.
We started, grew. We started operations South Africa. We prepared for Dubai. By the time I left Dubai, and some of these things we were doing during COVID. So you are doing online meetings. You can't even see the people you're talking to, but you have to prepare, because even if we are locked down, we are preparing when we open. Can we come to China? Can we come to India? So I was lucky that many of the things I left.
You proposed?
They were in the proposal, they were in the planning, but concretizing these small signatures and those between the two teams while I was there did. And at least we started South Africa by the time I was still there. We did Kinshasa while I was still there. Then we did Dubai and London, and after I had left, and India. I'm happy.
Happy man.
Very happy.
So now we come to the private, your private establishment that you are also going to be walking us through.
Yes.
Once we come back from this particular break, ladies and gentlemen, we are still hanging around and tapping into Mr. Wamara's, expertise in running the airline business on 3 issues actually that were articulated at the beginning of this show. My name is Olivia Nakalembe, and just stay right with us, because once we get back, we are now going to get into what it actually takes to run the 4 elements that we talked about in the very beginning. Stay with us right here at the Aviation Blueprint. I guess it's been a well-deserved commercial break, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. We are still hanging around with Mr. Wamara. Yes, not Wamala, but Wamara. I guess I said that right. Right here on the Aviation Blueprint, where we look at the merge between the aviation industry and how best it can contribute to the economic growth of this country through tourism development. Mr. Wamara, we are now getting into the intricate detail of this particular conversation, and we are looking at routing and marketing. What would you advise that the airline does to get into routing if, say, for example, they are opening up a new route? And what are some of the considerations that should be made in there for us to realize the much desired profit?
Olivia, thank you. Route development falls under what we would call in certain airlines network planning. So you're looking at the network and you're planning as you start, and you can review every year, where are we going to go? And what are the parameters and the metrics you look at before you go to a destination? So fortunately, with technology now, you have a number of tools that will help you to look at the numbers and say, what are the numbers between Entebbe and, I want to give an example that is not real to avoid annoying. Let's say Entebbe and Morocco, Casablanca, hypothetically. You want to fly to Casablanca, what do you do? So you use your tools to find out how many people are coming from Entebbe going to Casablanca, how many people are coming from Casablanca going to Entebbe. Point to point. Then, as I said earlier, you now look at the network. How many people can we get from Casablanca, stopping in Entebbe, going to Johannesburg? So you need to know also how many people fly from Casablanca to Johannesburg. How many people fly from Casablanca to Guangzhou? Can our route get those people, and we add to these numbers between these two cities? If the answer is yes, now you have the numbers. Certain countries have foreign exchange restrictions. You can make heaps of money, and they tell you can't take out your money. Many countries, when you've been in only Uganda, we assume so many things. Do not assume. You go, you find out what is the foreign exchange regulation. Or you can sell and buy dollars freely. Okay, can I take my dollars out freely? Oh, it's okay, that one shall be arranged. Do not accept that. They must put it in black and white that yes, you will be able to take your dollars out of our country uninterrupted. Airlines have left markets because they couldn't get out their dollars. They just close. You have heaps of money in a bank, but when you are negotiating, you forgot just that small signature. And they say, if they tell you, it's okay, do not accept it. So you have to be able to get your money out. Otherwise, you're doing nothing. Yes, then some say, you can take the dollars you sell in our market, but the local currency, you can't convert it and take it out. So what do you do with heaps of shillings if you are British Airways and you can't take them back to your head office and your accounts are empty? You keep a bank full of shillings here in Uganda, that's another problem. So you have to look at that. Then having done that, then you go now, like we said earlier, into the intricacies of these small dotted line issues. I said earlier, you want to go to Casablanca, between Entebbe and Casablanca. Fine. Then you realize later, you can also go to Rabat, which is the capital. Rabat is the capital, so you say Rabat, but Casablanca is the commercial capital. There are people there also. Fine. We had an agreement. Yes, the agreement said you can fly to any destination in this country, but you can only fly to Rabat and you can fly to Casablanca separately. You must make sure that that agreement allows you to fly, say from Entebbe, go to Rabat, pick passengers, go to Casablanca, pick passengers, come back to Entebbe. If it is not in black and white, they will tell you, sorry. Come to Rabat, take your passengers. Come to Casablanca, take your passengers. You might think it is okay, but some destinations are seasonal. Let us assume Casablanca is a tour on the beach. Certain months of the year, full. Certain months of the year, dead. Right. And you have to fly a plane there. You will crash financially. You have to do that well in advance. Then, of course, learning the language, the culture of the people, what they perceive. Are they okay with alcohol on board? Are they okay with your crew dressed in how they are dressed? You could lose... do we need to make food specially for them, or are they an international type who can eat international foods? There's so much to look at. Then finally, boom, you will fly there. Then you start what the normal business is. Can we get the right fares? Who are our competitors in the market? How do we play with the market? Is there a strong national airline in the market? Because where there's a strong national airline, it is normally fused with government. You'll be shocked. Government will say yes, they leave the meeting, they go behind there, and airline so and so of Morocco says, we cannot. If you say yes, we lose money. We are your airline. In Africa, airlines are still owned by governments. They'll come back and say no. True. They can't kill their airline. So it is important that you get some of these things slowly by slowly and start even talking to that airline, because we have what we call the Board of Airline Representatives. It's an association that brings together airlines in a country. Usually in every country, the chairman is the national airline. You can't fight them. You will not. So that too is politics now. You have to bend to that politics and manage the politics and do the revenue of that, get your revenue numbers right. So these are some of the small things you have to look at. In addition to the normal marketing, in addition to the normal market services, there are other extras more over and above the numbers that you may have to look at. Wow. It's a tough business. And like I said earlier, small margins, you're collapsing. You will collapse. If you are private, airline business is not an easy one. Ryanair is making money. I think Ryanair is one of the few profitable private airlines. I know the big Gulf carriers also say they are making money. They show books making money. But normally there's a big government input. And like they said when we were starting Uganda Airlines, it's more of an infrastructure project. It's not necessarily a business. So every time the newspapers publish Uganda Airlines making losses, people are shouting. They say, please give it time. In the first projection, the airline was supposed to make money after 7 to 10 years, before COVID. So if it's started in 2019, it will start making money maybe in 2027 without COVID. Or 2029 without COVID.
So in other words, we have to factor in the COVID losses.
Patience. Okay. Yeah, we just have to be patient. It's a tough business.
It's quite an eye-opening conversation right here with Mr. Wamara. And of course, our social media platforms are readily open. Aviation Blueprint, where we are seeking your feedback. Are you out there and you're trying to find your way around the aviation business? We're talking about the likes of Nicholas, who are out there, trying to see how to make ends meet in this aviation business and finding themselves in terms of a career. This is actually the show that you should be watching out for. Mr. Wamara, we're talking sales, we're talking partnerships, we're talking of distribution. How have these three elements changed over time in the aviation business?
And phenomenally. Phenomenally. I joined the industry when we had paper tickets.
Yes.
I joined the industry when we had no email. So, with the developments that have come around the aviation, the opportunities that have exploded. You can do distribution via the normal channels that we had, travel agents, direct sales, through corporates and government, and what was there, friends and family. I've forgotten the abbreviation we used to call it. The airline jargon has very many acronyms. But now it's different. The young people are using their phones for business.
We're moving around.
They are moving their phone. They are online all the time. They can access, because distribution is about how does Mukwano take his products to the Kaduka there in Nigeria, for instance. He has to make sure his drink is in that Kaduka. But with the internet, the airline is open to the whole world all the time. It has implications because sales also can be affected. You close, you think you are closing, you think you are open. When you are asleep, people are selling the seats you thought you had in where people are awake. So there are many. The technology has done a huge thing, a wonderful thing.
And then, so how are us, the agents, in here, to operators, travel agents, and everyone else in there, how are we supposed to cope? How should we go around this? How should we partner to make sure that we keep profiting?
Yeah, what's the new coined term that is coined? This is value addition. Value addition. Because I'll tell you frankly, many clients can go to their phone and get a ticket to Entebbe to Nairobi. They can do it on their phone. What can you give more to this passenger that will help him, that will make them want to come to you?
Okay.
It's a tough choice, but you have to be able to give the extra service. We no longer are selling much point to point. Can you sell a package? Because this guy might want to go with his family to now Dubai is closed, to wherever, to Mauritius for a weekend or for Easter. What can you one-stop shop? So you can be one place. Online he can also do it. She or she could do it, but you want to make it easier for them. So our job now is to make that much easier for them, because we have to charge for the service. We are professionals, we are consultants, we have to charge for this service. So what more are you adding? If he really feels you're not adding much, they will not come to you.
I do understand, Mr. Wamara, that you're running your own company right now. This is the moment that we want you to, talk about it. And I know we could pick a few things here and there now that you're operating it from an expertise, point of view. Yes.
Yeah, a startup, it's been around for some time. I don't know whether it's still a startup. It's tough. It's a whole new game.
Okay.
When you're in the corporate world, you are blessed with tools and teams that you just click a finger and call a meeting and the distribution is fine and you have gathered all the statistics. When you're doing this small startup, it's a whole new ballgame.
Okay.
Yes. You are relying a lot on personal relationships. You are, going out to get some corporate business, which can be a struggle. We are doing air travel and ticketing here with Raz Travel. We also do farming at home in Masindi, where there is an accommodation facility for homestay, which we also run as part of our tourism. When we get some clients, we're taking them to the national park. They stay with us in this facility.
Value addition.
Value addition. Then you take them to the park. So that is how you are trying to reach out to get a little extra here and there. You're spreading out. In those days, those of us who did ticketing didn't want to have anything to do with tours. We thought it was... But you may know that the tour have better margins than the ticketing. And with this technology, the ticketing may be less and less. The tours will grow. So yes, you have to look at, be open-minded. Don't say, oh, ticketing is what it is. No, the tours will put better food on your table than the ticketing may.
Okay.
So it's being open-minded. It's reaching out, keeping the relationships you had. The clients who have kept us busy, some of them are friends we have had for over 30, 40 years. Some are new people we bump into here and there. You keep your channels. I'm in Rotary, so you're meeting more new people all the time. I've been in Rotary for over 30 years also. So yes, you have a wealth of knowledge and a wealth of friends and people, and people you can link up with to get the business going. So yes, it's not easy, but it helps that we have this wealth of relationships that we can build on.
Okay. Throughout your career, what are the biggest lessons that you have learned? I know, of course, this should now be speaking to the challenges in the aviation sector. So let's handle that, side by side.
Okay. The aviation industry is hectic, can be stressful. When we joined the VIP lounge in our training, the Honorable Captain Babu was training. I said, this business, your client is anxious. It's one of the only businesses where a client comes in an unusual state of mind. When you go for dinner, you're relaxed. When you go to buy a shirt, you want to buy a shirt. When you go to the airport, there's too many things on your mind. For sometimes it's the first time to travel. He's worked up. So we deal with passengers in a very difficult state of mind. So you must have the capacity to manage stress. You must be calm if you're working in an airport environment. Window for the view. Dancing and singing sometimes. African casual. Movies. Millet.
Mr. Wamara, it's been a pleasure hosting you right here on the Aviation Blueprint.
Thank you very much.
You have given us a myriad of perspectives we should be looking forward to. Not only us who have been here with you, but the students in school, the young professionals, potential investors in maybe Uganda's aviation industry and beyond, and we do not take that for granted. Thank you so much for sparing time to talk to us, and we wish you a beautiful one. We also wish that your company thrives, of course, based off of the service you gave to this country. Ladies and gentlemen, time is never man's best ally. But at least I know you have picked a few things, one or two, that should keep us going. We are waiting for your feedback down in our comment section, and we should be able to respond to that in a timely manner. For now, allow me to say bye until next time. I remain your host, Olivia Nakalembe. Till then,